Matteo Collina. You can find me on Twitter here. Tweet about this, ask me questions about Node, whatever you want really, but Node specifically. So this talk, it's about the state of Node.js. Now it has been kind of a long journey. How many of you have been using Node since the beginning? Good for you folks. But this talk is about what to expect and how things has been progressing for the last 9 years. Wow. So, oh, it's not working. Clicker is not working. Ooh. Just give me a second. Magic clicker failed me. Yay. So, first thing, I work for a company called Nearform. We are also listed over there. I don't know. One of the reasons is we built all of our company on top of Node.js, and we're still keeping investing a lot in maintaining and making sure Node.js is healthy and works very well. So I don't know if you're interested in working remotely and building stuff with Node, check us out. So 2018. Now 2018, it has been kind of a big year for Node.js. We shipped 4,000, more than 4,000 pull requests. How many pull requests do you do per year on your project? More. Good. That's a good answer. We did more than 4,000 pull requests. We have been receiving and landing about 90 pull requests per week. Just consider the amount of work that is happening inside Node.js. In fact, we have been more than 2,000 issues open on GitHub. So hey, a little bit of work. And there have been more than 200 individuals participated in the project that sent a pull request. It can be you as well. Okay, please come and contribute. Also, it will be not possible to ship a stable runtime that you can all use on your projects without the amount of impressive testing that happens for every single of those changes. We test everything on top of 55 different combinations of operating system and architecture. We have a cluster of Raspberry Pi to ensure that Node.js runs well on a Pi. And you can use it on your home server. From there to AIX, if you like mainframes, it also runs there. Macs, Windows, Linux, old versions of FreeBSD as well. Always problematic. If you know FreeBSD very well, please reach out. All of this is being done by the build working group that works behind the scenes of the Node.js project, to just make sure that Node.js, that we can ship a good, stable release for Node. So, big shout out to them. There is a lot of unit tests, more than 2,000, and probably more now, 2,400 unit tests. All those folders. It's actually a huge amount of things, but there is a big but. We still not have 100% code coverage. So if you want to help, please, there is a nice website where you can track the code coverage of Node.js, and you can help us increase the code coverage of Node.js. So 96%, almost 96% code coverage. Hey, very good. A little bit less code coverage on C++. So Node.js has a significant part of C++ in it. So you can check that out as well, and maybe help. Also, there is a very good initiative from the security working group. In fact, the Node.js project is definitely not only about the runtime, but it's also about the full broader ecosystem. And the security working group enables. It receives vulnerabilities for the whole system, providing a full responsible disclosure process so that vulnerabilities are received in private in a secure way through the HackerOne platform, and then the advisories are published in an open source way. So this is an open source database for vulnerabilities. So you can check it out. If you find a vulnerability, please report it here. It's very important. Also, well, we also handle like 7 security advisory for Node Core. So wait. There have been, this year, there have been 8 Node.js 6 releases. How many of you are using Node 6 still? Okay. Upgrade. There have been 8 Node 8 release. Hey, of course. There's one more coming probably sooner rather than later. But more importantly, there have been 16 Node 10 releases. Guess why? It's a new, the new LTS. And we just shipped Node 11. Please don't use this in production, okay? It's still new Node 11 release, possibly the 11.2 is actually what you want to use in production or something, if you want to use the current latest release. There have been a couple of very nasty bugs related to timers. And nice ones. However, Node 10 became LTS on October 30. So this is what you should be using and what we recommend about using in production now. It's you know, the latest and the greatest, I will have to say. It's really features. So Node 12 is coming in April 23rd. Lot of Node releases, as you can imagine, as you can see. The Node.js project is on track on doing 2 majors per year, one of which become LTS. And 12 will be the new LTS next year about this time. So you can mark your calendar April 23rd, Node 12. What will be in there? Who knows? Depends on you. You can also see that before all the LTS releases, there has been an influx on several major commits into Node Core. So basically, people would want to include new features and change behaviors for what they will become the new LTS releases. This is a little bit of a psychological driver for pushing changes. So typically, when there is a jump from 8 to 10, there has been a significant amount of several major potentially breaking changes. We typically don't break anybody, but you know, a little bit of change of behavior here, change of behavior there, and maybe some new bugs. So, well, a key important part, what we have been working on, what are the good things that you can be using now on Node 10? First of all, HTTP 2. HTTP 2 is now stable. So you can use it in production. We say, hey, please go. This is actually supported, fully supported. We are not going to change the API anymore in unpredictable ways. So you can check it out. And it's fully supported on Node 10 and 11. And there is an effort ongoing to bring all the new changes also to Node 8. So you can potentially use HTTP 2 everywhere. How do you use HTTP 2? Well, you need to create a secure server because, you know, the browser would complain a little bit. It only works on over SSL in the browser. And, you know, it has this nice concept of streams in HTTP 2, where, because HTTP 2 is a fully multiplexed protocol, so you can run multiple concurrent connections on top of the same sockets. And more or less, this is the low-level API, and is actually very, very, very powerful. Also, if you want to use, I don't know, use it for microservice communications and so on, is really, really powerful. In fact, it's so powerful that it will probably double your throughput. So, hey, check it out. Also, we have recently added a couple of new things to HTTP 2. New couple of frames that probably want to know you. But what it makes sense is that we can now run WebSockets on top of HTTP 2. This has been very recently specified, and it's actually supported in the browser. And it's a big thing. It's a little long code, but you can see that you can now build, use the old WebSocket module, and it will all just work very, 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 very well. So, and and you can see that you can specify as a protocol. You need to specify WebSocket as a protocol, and automatically will be automatically recognized, and the connection works. And it was work on a plane in October, so whatever. The HTTP2 still is not finished. It's not as fast as we would like it to be. We want to reach, I think, 100,000 requests per second. Still not there, so we need to get a little bit more work done. So also there is in Node 11 support for worker threads, and in Node 10 and 11, and under an experimental flag. Worker threads, there is a full talk from Anna later on, so I'm not spending any time on it. But it's fantastic, and finally it brings Node.js into the multi-threaded world, and let's see what you will do with it. And hopefully it will graduate before Node 12, so that in Node 12 LTS, this feature will be fully supported and available in Node itself. Also, an API, I know a lot of you love C++, and you are all C and C++ developers. But if you write native add-ons, what you need to do is now we recommend to use an API. An API is the new ABI stable system for writing native add-ons. In fact, it's so good because it allows you to compile it once and run on multiple versions of Node.js, so you don't have to recompile when it's fantastic. Okay, you should check it out. And it's fully supported, it's stable, and it's available for everybody to use. How do you use it? Well, this is a C API, but there is also a C++ wrapper. It's actually way simpler to understand and use than previous techniques, like, for example, NaN. I don't know how many of you are familiar with these things, but previous techniques require a huge amount of macros. How many of you like macros that include macros? And you don't know what code is going to be compiled anymore. And an API just works beautifully. Also, tracing and diagnostics is a huge focus on Node.js about about improving the diagnostic experience in production, because everybody runs nodes in production. So if the moment you have a problem, you need to improve how that problem get diagnosed and fixed and everything. So there's been a huge focus this year. We had a nice diagnostic summit in Ottawa in February, like it's cold. Okay, don't ask why Ottawa. You might guess, but thank you IBM for hosting. In fact, as part of this initiative, there has been an expanding support for trace events. Trace events, events, are a new API of Node. It's a new module on Node.js that enables you to spit out information, tracing information, and then process them later. Extremely performant way, so that you can provide for processing and understanding how things are going to work. How do you use them? You need to specify. You require trace event, and you start creating a tracing provider, and you do some. You can enable tracing. Also, this shows some usage of perf, which is extremely potent when combined together. So please check it out. And I would actually recommend, if you need to produce some statistical data for your application, some runtime data, use this infrastructure. It's super powerful. In fact, it's so powerful that you can access it via the inspector protocol, which is another very key part of the experience in Node.js that we keep improving. And you can see that you can connect to it, and you can receive continuous data from our process via the inspector protocol. So basically, you can diagnose and get this tracing data remotely from your running Node.js process somewhere. Extremely, extremely powerful tool. And those things are not really fully used in the wild, but I would actually recommend you know, to check them out, because you can build some very nice piece of software with it. Also, what we shipped was support tires for diagnostic tools. Why? Well, we have done a mess in some releases, and what I mean is diagnostics tools were not a fully supported part of the Node.js runtime, and when Node.js came around, we break them. So basically, we moved to a level of support tires for diagnostics tools. So when a new release come out, we are certain that we haven't broke those tools, so you can keep using your infrastructure in production. Kind of a good thing, maybe. And in fact, we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 tools. And you know, this framework has been already just being put in place. So there are no tier 1 and tier 2 tools yet. So just so that you know, but we have some tier 3 things in there. Tier 3 means it's tested on CI. So at the bare minimum, we know if they are broken, because we ship node releases with diagnostics tools broken. So we don't want to break them. Okay, we don't want these things to break when we do a release. And this includes the CPU profiler, which is very important. Everybody wants to profile your software. It also includes Linux perf. I hope all of you know about Linux perf. If you don't know about Linux perf, go check Linux perf out. It's awesome. It enables you to generate frame graphs on Linux servers without any overhead, more or less. So please check it out. So it's fantastic. Also, we are working out on ES6 modules. Do you like ES6 modules? Do you want ES6 modules? You will have to wait. They are really. Let me. There will be some news sooner rather than later. There is a lot of technical difficulties in ESM, and unfortunately, and there is a repository. You might want to check that out. And there is a lot of discussion. There is even a fork of Node available, linked from there, where the new implementation of ESM is going to live. And there is a lot of important stuff from loaders, resolution algorithm, common JS interoperability, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe MJS will be there to stay, but you know, what can you do? Also, we got async iterators in Node, thanks to a new Node.js V8 release. Do you know about async iterators? You can now process a stream with async iterators. So you can just iterate on your stream just by using native language constructs. And the nice thing about this, it's as fast as using on data. So there's no performance overhead in just using this specific path, which are a little bit better than using our old event emitter type of API. So if you need to do some simple stream processing, this can be the thing you might want to check out. So what else have we been doing? Better support for Electron. You might not know Node.js, if you're using Slack or Visual Studio. How many of you are using Slack? How many of you are using Visual Studio Code? Okay, you are using Electron. And it's all built on Node. So we are working with the Electron team to provide better support for them. They need to do some very quirky stuff to make sure everything works fine. And we are committed to provide a better experience for embedders. Also, very good new features of Node 10, BigInt support. Okay, so finally we have proper numbers. So that's kind of a thing. In fact, you finally can get call HR time with BigInt, get a BigInt out of HR time instead of this array with 2 values in it because we didn't have enough precision. It was horrible. Instead, you can just get a BigInt, or you can get a BigInt from fs.stat, because files are important and the files can be big. Also, promises. We are improving our promises API. So you can require DNS, for example. System 1 was already shipped, but we also added support to DNS, so you can do resolve stuff just using promises without having to wrap them yourself. Also, new crypto key generation API. So many of you have found that Node.js couldn't generate a key for OpenSSL and stuff. For SSL and stuff, problematic. Now we can generate a key straight from Node. Very, 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 very helpful, I would have to say, so that you don't have to do it manually with long key combinations on my command line. I always need to look them up when I need to generate a key. I don't know about you, but I never remember how to do it, and I look it up on the internet every single time. This is one events that I care most about promises, and it's called multiple resolves. So this pattern is actually 2 resolves in it and 1 reject. It's it's a good source of bugs and memory leaks. And you know why? Because only the first call to resolve or reject gets bubbled up. Everything else gets swallowed forever and lost forever. Now you can catch those problems. There is a multiple resolves event in Node 10 that you can listen to, and potentially you can do something about it, crash or log it at the minimum. It's actually very useful to find out certain behaviors on your Node application. We have added the recursive mkdir, and you can create a directory recursively. Okay. Okay, not my merit, but to somebody, to all the people that work to ship this. So what else might be coming in the future? We are discussing doing a new REPL because the REPL has some issues. We are talking about improving our internal streams component with Bob, whatever. If you want to know more about Bob, let's talk about Bob later. What would you stream? If you are using Node.js in a full stack isomorphic way, this might be a problem. So something that is keen for you if you're using fetch on the front end, maybe this is something that will help you at some point in the future. Quick, we are discussing Quick and HTTP 3. Okay, so maybe this will be happening sooner rather than later. There is HTTP parser coming in Node Core. These might not be helpful, but for you, but it's a big maintenance burden, the current HTTP parsers, so we might be replacing that. Some security features, so that spurious modules cannot really be loaded on the system. They are not being signed and verified before. Security policies. Well, overall, there is a lot of things that we want to do with Node.js. So this is a come to action. Come help us, okay? Node.js wouldn't be great without the whole thousands of contributors that comes every year and work on the project. So please come help us. It's one of the most welcoming community that you can you can come and contribute on. So please come and check it out. If you are interested in if you want to contribute to Node and anything, you can just stop me and I will over the day and I can help you out and help you set up. Note that next year, Node.js will be 10 years old. Woo! There is one thing, and I remember when there was the first edition of this conference some years ago, and it was very, very, Node.js was not a proven technology back then. And There was a nice analogy with the bumblebee by Gabriele Lana, but I don't know how many of you remember. There is also another call to action. Let's make every NodeConf in 2019 a big celebration. So, you know, this is a call for the organizers, and just take this into account. Next year, Node.js will be 10 years old. So we need to party. Thank you.